Lamplight Audio presents an unabridged recording of The Secrets of Ironbridge by Mollie Walton, narrated by Lou Corfield. To my dear friend Lynn Downing, who always listens and is in all ways lovely. Prologue. Queenie wondered where she was buried. A pauper's grave, no doubt. But which sorrowful patch of ground? Queenie pictured her now, a pitiful pile of bones in a crowded pit. She imagined the girl's spirit rising from its haphazard burial place, delighted to be free of its chaotic tumble of earth and human remains. Where would it go? Perhaps it would revisit the scenes and sights of its childhood, some sort of poor man's hovel where it was born, maybe a patch of ground where it used to play with other urchins. But once it was done with those, inevitably it would come to the King House, to Southover. After all, the spirit was only a young girl when she had come there as a maid of all work. And what if the spirit of this servant, this Betsy Blaze, were to come to Queenie's house now? What would she see? Even as she wondered this, Queenie questioned why she had conjured the memory of Blaze's spirit after all of these years of thinking of it rarely. Out of sight, out of mind. It must be because the house was draped in worry, waiting as it was for the death of her son. She shivered and glanced at the closed curtains in her bedroom. In her mind's eye, she saw the spirit rise from its scrappy piece of earth across the river, floating up into the night sky. Over the tops of trees and industry it would go, seeing the fires of the furnaces emblazon the darkness with their hellish colours. It would skim fleetly over factories and forges, lime kilns and waggon ways, pumping engines and brickworks. It might circle the pit heads and the men labouring below them in the bowels of the earth. They would never see the spirit that passed over them, buried as they were like her body, or what was left of it. Onwards to the river itself, the mighty Severn that scoured out the gorge and rushed through it, relentless and temperamental. The spirit would travel its length to reach the Ironbridge. It would have to visit the site of its creation, after all, the place where Betsy Blaze the girl had carried her newborn child, handed it to a passing Quaker, and died. Across the Ironbridge it would fly, up over the houses and shops and streets, all good folk sleeping peacefully in their beds, their mattresses soft or hard depending on their gentility. Up the hill to the great house that stood above the town, frowning down upon it. Southover, the house.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?